Part 41. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 401. In order not to waste his time, Chen Mu did not directly give the system to Chen Yuan like before. Chen Mu prepared a celestial body devouring system for Chen Yuan. After all, it would be too slow for Chen Yuan to devour animals bit by bit. It would be faster to let Chen Yuan devour the celestial body directly. That's almost it. More than 20 years have passed since Chen Yuan was born. In that environment, Chen Yuan's character has been shaped almost like his own. It was also time for him to die. Thinking of this, Chen Mu looked at Chen Yuan at this moment through his consciousness. After so many years, Chen Yuan has grown up and looks like Chen Mu in human form. It was late at night, and Chen Yuan was lying on the bed with his eyes closed, sleeping. How to kill him? Chen Mu suddenly noticed that in the night sky, a passenger plane was flashing and slowly passing by. See this? Seeing the passenger plane, Chen Mu had an idea. That's it? At the same time, inside the passenger plane, "Captain," someone shouted. As the captain of a passenger plane, I found that the entire operation console of the passenger plane was out of order. The captain's expression changed. The passenger plane began to fall. When a passenger plane falls from a high altitude, it passes through the motion and enters the troposphere. The entire passenger plane was shaking. Everyone in the cabin felt something strange. Sleeping people and passengers were awakened one after another. What's going on? Why does it feel like this passenger plane is falling? No, it doesn't feel like it's falling, it feels like it's falling. Passengers notice this through the window. No. Oh my God. Fear was noisy, covering all cabins at this moment. However, the passenger plane still crashed straight into a building below the ground. And Chen Yuan was sleeping soundly in that building. A moment. Boom. Accompanied by a loud bang. The dazzling firelight illuminates the surrounding environment. The celestial evolution system automatically binds Chen Yuan's consciousness. I don't know how much time has passed. Chen Yuan became an asteroid orbiting the sun. Chen Mu didn't intervene, he just watched from the side. The celestial evolution system has been set up and the road has been paved. Next, all you need to do is watch Chen Yuan's changes. Later, Chen Yuan woke up, and after becoming familiar with the system, he began to devour nearby celestial bodies and gain a new round of evolution just like Chen Mu before. Over time, although he did not experience the changes of animals like Chen Mu, he needed to devour various celestial bodies and it took a seemingly endless amount of time. Under the baptism of these years, he began to believe in evolution, and human nature gradually disappeared, leaving only the pursuit of evolution and the pursuit of the unknown. Chen Yuan at this moment is somewhat similar to Chen Mu. Seeing this, Chen Mu looked at where the former Zhuang Xiaonian, now Ya, was. Yazao has discovered Chen Yuan's location through astronomical instruments. As a high-level civilized person, Ya became interested in Chen Yuan. However, she did not directly contact Chen Yuan, but kept watching and studying. At this moment, Chen Yuan and Ya's only contact with each other was Ya's one-sided observation of Chen Yuan. Days like this lasted for a long time. As a behind-the-scenes observer, Chen Mu watched the two of them. Ya is the former Zhuang Xiaonian, and Chen Yuan is the former Chen Mu. In this timeline, without Chen Mu's deliberate sabotage, the two of them would have spent their lives together. But it's different now. Chen Mu wanted to know whether the two people who had changed so much would come together like before. The civilization where Ya lives is a super advanced civilization in the current universe. Therefore, within this civilization, they are almost invincible in this universe. As a member of this civilization, Ya life seems boring. Just at a certain moment, Ya came into contact with Chen Yuan. Ya took the initiative to communicate with Chen Yuan through the dark message channel. Jian Ya communicated with Chen Yuan, and Chen Mu crossed his arms and watched. It's like having someone appear out of the blue and talk to me, it's just annoying. Just as Chen Mu guessed. The first time Ya communicated with Chen Yuan completely ignored Ya and almost said, "Go away." However, to Chen Mu's surprise, Ya didn't care and instead kept pestering Chen Yuan, saying this and that. As expected of Zhuang Xiaonian, Chen Mu commented, "If it had been any other guy, he would have left long ago. But Ya, who has Zhuang Xiaonian's secret consciousness, is very interested in Chen Yuan and keeps pestering him." But the result of pestering was to make Chen Yuan even more irritated and unhappy. Until later, Chen Yuan, who had not yet fully grown up, encountered attacks from foreign civilizations. This time Ya took the initiative to block Chen Yuan's attack and protect Chen Yuan. Chen Yuan became interested in technology. Afterwards, the two had some exchanges. But Chen Yuan is still cold and ruthless. It is a unilateral request, but it is Ya's unilateral contribution to Chen Yuan. But Ya didn't care, but enjoyed it. As a celestial body, Chen Yuan needs to travel through a long time before he can devour another celestial body. Traveling in this vast universe is a very boring thing. And Ya was by his side, accompanying him. Her voice could make Chen Yuan unhappy and irritable at first, but slowly, Chen Yuan no longer resisted her voice and gradually began to accept her existence. Of course, Chen Yuan's feelings were still the same as Chen Mu's, believing in evolution and only thinking about exploring the unknown of this universe. Chen Yuan's personality at this moment was almost the same as Chen Mu's at this moment. This is what Chen Mu wanted to study. He wanted to know what changes he would make when another self had a girl who was suitable for him. Chen Yuan now has not changed much. But Chen Mu was not in a hurry, he just observed Chen Yuan and Ya. Time passed little by little. A universe has a lifespan. Chen Yuan can grow infinitely until he breaks through the universe, but Ya can't. Before the universe has time to expand to its limit, all matter in the universe is swallowed by black holes due to the pull of gravity. The entire universe is left with only black holes. And Ya's body composition requires other elements. On this day, Ya died. Chen Mu watched from the side, watching Ya who had lost her physical body, and said goodbye to Chen Yuan with a smile. At that moment, something unexpected happened to Chen Mu. Chen Yuan seemed to have lost his mind, and he collected Ya's dark information. Then he hid in the time dimension and devoured all the matter in the world of the time dimension. He grew at a very fast speed. Finally, after Chen Yuan broke through the limitations of the universe, he went to another universe and resurrected Ya. When Chen Mu saw this scene, Chen Mu understood. The result is out. Although the experience of me in this timeline is similar to mine, and I eventually became ruthless and indifferent, because of Ya's existence, his humanity was gradually awakened by her. Unconsciously, he regarded her as the meaning of his life. Although he was still pursuing infinite evolution, when she died, Chen Yuan only had one thought in his mind, to save her. As a giant in the universe, Chen Mu crossed his arms and watched this scene. That is to say, I also have feelings, but no one can awaken my feelings, that's all. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 402. There is also someone suitable for me in my timeline. But I am different from Chen Yuan. Chen Yuan met Ya, but I didn't meet that person. Then can I go back to find her? No. Because she is dead. Chen Mu has crossed too many timelines, and when he was playing in these timelines, the time of Chen Mu's original timeline is also flowing. Chen Mu originally came from the earth, and the existence corresponding to him in that timeline no longer exists. Even if he goes back to the past now, the living her is not that her. Just as Chen Mu realized before. Can't go back. He can't go back. Every step he took on the road was moving forward, and there was no way to go back. Chen Yuan had Yu's company, but he only had himself. So the question goes back to the beginning. What is the meaning of my existence? This question once again emerged in Chen Mu's mind. Hasn't the meaning of your existence been found long ago? A voice broke into Chen Mu's dark information library. After hearing this voice, Chen Mu saw an existence through the channel transmitted by the dark information. A cosmic giant stood in front of Chen Mu. Although he had no eyes, it was certain that he was staring at Chen Mu. Outside this universe, there are countless cosmic giants. These cosmic giants were all created by Chen Mu. But for Chen Mu, these cosmic giants are all cosmic life forms created by himself. Those cosmic life forms basically will not take the initiative to greet Chen Mu. Only when Chen Mu needs them will he give them orders. But this guy greeted Chen Mu. Chen Mu looked at it and said, "Chen Mu." If he could talk to himself, the only one he could find in Chen Mu's information database at present is himself. The cosmic giant said, "Chen Yuan." Upon hearing this, Chen Mu looked at Chen Yuan. Now Chen Yuan, the first one created by Chen Mu, is still on the road of evolution. He has not become a cosmic giant. But, when an existence evolves to a certain extent and is no longer bound by the time dimension, the future Chen Yuan can also go back to the past. In other words, this Chen Yuan came from the future timeline. Chen Mu said, "Did you find out?" Chen Yuan crossed his arms and said, "You and I are the same person. You can hide it from others, but you can't hide it from yourself. Infinite timelines will give birth to infinite parallel universes. In this infinite parallel universe, there are countless possibilities. In the face of so many possibilities, if you think that changing a name can hide everything, then you underestimate yourself." Chen Yuan continued, "You have been looking for the meaning of your existence, but this meaning has always existed." He looked at Chen Mu. "If there is no you, there will be no me. If there is no you, there will be no cosmic giants. If there is no you, there will be no Ya and Chen Yuan. The existence of a substance, no matter how big or small, whether it is alive or dead, has meaning." Chen Yuan looked at Chen Mu and said, "Existence is meaning. I have done what I should do, so I should go back to accompany her." As he said, Chen Yuan turned around. Chen Mu looked at Chen Yuan's back until his consciousness left the body of the cosmic giant. Seeing this, Chen Mu retracted his gaze. Existence is meaning. This sentence immediately reminded Chen Mu of the moment when he saw the secret of this world. One flower, one world. No, there are countless universes and countless worlds in one flower. No matter how small a substance is, even if it is as small as atoms or quarks, that substance has a meaning of existence. Chen Mu raised his head and looked at the vast universe. In this space full of bubble universes, there are countless universes. Some of the universes are circled and turned into a universe pool. Some of the universes are also circled to form a universe giant. The universe giant manages these universe pools. Just like herding, the universe pool is like a sheep, and the universe giant is like a sheepdog. And Chen Mu is the shepherd at this moment. And this is the final appearance of Chen Mu after he came all the way here and reached the end of evolution. The shepherd who manages the infinite universe. This is the meaning of Chen Mu to this infinite universe. But after reaching the end, the world becomes boring. In order to kill this boring time, Chen Mu found a universe. He modified the order of the universe. Has anyone ever thought about it? Why, the larger the matter, the greater the gravity. Who stipulated that the larger the matter, the greater the gravity? What if the smaller the matter, the smaller the gravity? What if there is no gravity in the universe? Then why are there gravitational waves and these laws in a universe? Because the matter becomes larger, it compresses the space, resulting in gravitational waves? Why does the matter compress the space when it becomes larger? Why can't it expand when the matter presses on the space? Who stipulated this physical phenomenon? What many people think in their minds is that physics exists, that is, the truth. Because gravity exists and is observed, gravity is the truth. But have you ever thought about who allows the existence of gravity? Also, why does matter disappear after it is consumed? Why does the food people eat become less, not more, after eating? These seem ordinary and logical. What if, in a completely illogical universe, there is a universe with different laws? What will it be like? Can life be born in such a universe? With Chen Mu's current technology, he can control all dimensions and modify the laws within the universe. In other words, all physical phenomena within the universe can be operated by Chen Mu alone. Chen Mu began. The first thing he did was to turn all the gravity within a universe into repulsion. Repulsion replaced gravity. After modifying the laws of that universe, Chen Mu observed the situation of this universe from the side. A planetary system. After Chen Mu changed gravity into repulsion, Chen Mu saw that the planets orbiting the stars began to collapse, and the stars began to push these planets away from their planetary systems. At the same time, the stars and planets began to disintegrate themselves. The imagined explosion, because gravity becomes repulsion, causes the stars and planets to lose pressure inside, and these pressures become thrust. Countless stars and planets begin to disintegrate and turn into countless dust. The black hole changes from black to white. It spits out a lot of matter crazily. The entire black hole becomes a white hole. Countless matter is spewed out. The celestial bodies inside the entire universe become a mess. The life in the universe is also destroyed at this moment. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 403. The entire universe has become repulsive, causing the entire universe to seem to collapse. Matter everywhere is disintegrating. The black hole that absorbs matter begins to spit out matter. This is repulsion. When the gravitational rule of the universe is replaced by repulsion, matter can no longer be piled together. In this case, life in this universe naturally cannot exist. Now this universe is in chaos due to the change of order. It's like it was just born. It will probably take some time for it to calm down. Thinking of this, Chen Mu skipped a period of time through the time dimension. This period of time may be billions of years, or even tens of billions of years. Chen Mu's sight fell on that universe again. Everything he saw made Chen Mu a little curious. In that universe, stars and planets reappeared one after another. Gravity restored? Chen Mu looked at the universe in front of him. He found that gravity had not been restored. The reason why stars reappeared is because other repulsive forces nearby. The larger the matter, the greater the repulsion. Under normal circumstances, repulsion will occur between matter and matter, making it impossible for two matters to be combined together. But because all matter in the entire universe has repulsion, many other matters will be bounced away by repulsion. But you must know that the matter in the universe is irregular, that is, when a matter is surrounded by matter, it will be repelled from all directions. These repulsive forces will press the matter in the middle together, just like a piece of dough that is spread out and pressed together by hand. Even if they have repulsion themselves, when the repulsion from all directions is stronger than their own repulsion, they have to be pressed into a ball. There are countless matters in the entire universe, and the larger these matters are, the greater the repulsion they produce. And these repulsive forces will affect nearby matters. After those matters are pressed by the repulsive forces generated by the large matters from all directions, the matters will become larger. After the matters become larger, the repulsive forces they generate will affect other matters. Finally, under the influence of these matters on each other, under the crushing of countless repulsive forces, the matters begin to become infinitely close to a sphere. Chen Mu also noticed that near the planet, you can see all kinds of life flying in the air. Most of these lives have fins, flapping their fins and swimming in the void. Life. When Chen Mu saw this, his heart couldn't help but move. Those are indeed life. Chen Mu noticed that the reason for this situation is that the repulsive forces between the planet and the outside world repel each other, and finally form a wonderful balance zone somewhere near the planet. In this balance zone, there is light, heat, and moisture. Next to the planet, you can see a layer of light shield emitting a halo, just like the atmosphere, covering the planet. Similar to the atmosphere, but different from the atmosphere, this area is almost separated from the planet itself and is located in space. In this atmosphere-like thing, you can see all kinds of water and water droplets. At the same time, there is light and heat nearby. Because of the repulsive force, the air is thrown into space. The air absorbs the light of the star and obtains heat, forming such a habitable zone suitable for the growth of life. Many single-celled animals grow and reproduce in this area. These lives seem to live in space. Chen Mu looked at the star next to him. Can repulsion also create stars? Yes, it can. Facing the terrifying repulsion coming from all directions, the star's huge body will be infinitely compressed, and eventually ignite its own nuclear fusion, generating a powerful thrust to counter the nearby repulsion. And this has led to its current appearance. Repulsion replaces the existence of gravity, and a new cosmic system has been formed in this universe. Chen Mu raised his hands. Life appears and reproduces in this universe that has regained its own order. Life can always find its source. Chen Mu couldn't help but sigh. Chen Mu looked at those lives. That habitable zone, which now has air, naturally has buoyancy and other forces. In other words, that habitable zone is equivalent to an ocean floating in the air. This ocean also has various airs, which can be said to meet all the conditions for the growth of life. I never thought that when gravity turns into repulsion, life can still be born. Although the way of birth is different from the universe of gravity, it is also born. Even if the order changes, the universe will still provide the environment and space for life to be born. After watching the changes in this universe, Chen Mu has nothing to do again. Suddenly, Chen Mu thought of someone. Chen Tian. Before, he split into a clone, became Chen Tian, and then asked Lve to protect him secretly. I almost forgot about this. Thinking of this, Chen Mu traveled through time and space and came to the bedroom where Chen Tian was. Chen Mu came back to his senses. He is now a body made of dark consciousness, and he looked around. It is night now. The moonlight outside is bright, and the moonlight shines into the bedroom through the window. Chen Mu is in a bedroom. A very narrow bedroom. The layout of the bedroom is very simple. A computer table with a computer on it. There is a wardrobe and a bed next to it. There is nothing else. Chen Mu looked at the bed. Chen Tian was sleeping on the bed. Chen Tian has not obtained the sword of order yet. He is just an ordinary person. Ordinary people naturally follow the path of ordinary people. He needs to be given the sword of order. Chen Mu was thinking. Suddenly, a voice sounded. Ring, ring, ring. This is Chen Tian's cell phone ringtone. Chen Tian opened his eyes, reached out and touched the phone on the bed. He looked at the screen, then put the phone to his ear, closed his eyes, and said, "Hello, Dad." "Son." Chen Tian's father's voice came from the other end of the phone, but the voice was a little trembling. "Those people are here to collect debts again. I have borrowed all the loans I can." Chen Tian opened his eyes. "How much money?" "Still short of 300,000. Chen Tian said, "I know, I will transfer it to you later." "Okay." Chen Tian's father's voice was trembling. Chen Tian turned off the communication, then operated on his mobile phone, found a loan software, borrowed money and then transferred it to his father. He threw the phone aside, closed his eyes, and continued to sleep. Chen Mu watched this scene. Money is actually a kind of currency. In ancient times, people exchanged things for things, but this was very inconvenient. Because of the exchange of things, if the other party wants to exchange things, it is different from what you want, it will be very troublesome. So, another substitute was born, that is, currency. Items can be exchanged for currency, and then they can be exchanged for another item. This is convenient. In other words, currency can replace everything valuable. But for Chen Mu, money is nothing. But for ordinary people, it is different. 300,000 can be enough to crush a person. Of course, this problem is not a problem. As long as Chen Tian obtains the Sword of Order, these problems can be solved naturally. Chen Mu was about to give Chen Tian the Sword of Order, but that's it. Chen Mu saw a time and space gate appear next to the wall. Then, Chen Mu saw another white-haired Chen Tian walking out of the gate of time and space. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 404. Chen Mu saw a white-haired and silver-eyed Chen Tian coming out of the gate of time and space. Seeing this, Chen Mu remembered. This Chen Tian obviously came from another timeline. The Sword of Order in his hand was the Sword of Order that Chen Mu had made for suicide before. In the four-dimensional space, the world only has the past and the future. But in the five-dimensional space, time does not have the past and the future, because the past and the future can be intertwined. There is no past, no future, and no present. They can travel to any time point at will. And the Chen Tian from the future in front of him probably came here from the five-dimensional space. Chen Tian from the future looked at Chen Tian on the bed and said, "Is this what you want?" Chen Tian on the bed heard it, and he hurriedly got up, with a look of disbelief on his face. He was so scared that he trembled all over, and then hurried off the bed. "Who are you?" Obviously, he didn't know that the person in front of him was himself. This is normal, after all, no one will regard a person who looks like himself as himself. After all, his mind is normal. White-haired Chen Tian said, "It doesn't matter who I am. What's important is that I can fulfill one of your wishes. What do you want?" Black-haired Chen Tian was slightly stunned. He adjusted his mood and said, "Then, I want a sword that can cut everything." White-haired Chen Tian stretched out his hand, and a time-space gate appeared beside him. He took out the order sword from the time-space gate. Then white-haired Chen Tian handed the order sword to black-haired Chen Tian. Black-haired Chen Tian took it. White-haired Chen Tian retracted his hand and said, "This sword can help you cut off everything, no matter what it is, known or unknown, everything can be cut off. As long as you have that idea in your mind, you can see your goal. As long as you cut off that goal, you can cut off what you want to cut off. The order sword can only cut off what you want to cut off, and it will not cut off other things." Black-haired Chen Tian said, "Really? This thing can cut off everything?" White-haired Chen Tian nodded slightly, and then disappeared on the spot. He left. Chen Mu, who was in the dark ideology, was watching the scene from the side. He looked at the black-haired Chen Tian, wanting to see what he would do with the order sword. Black-haired Chen Tian said, "I want to erase my feelings, I want to become an indifferent person, what should I do?" At this time, the order sword received the command and started. Time stopped instantly. Chen Mu frowned when he heard what the black-haired Chen Tian said. Isn't this nonsense? The reason why Chen Mu split Chen Tian was to let him feel the life of ordinary people. As a result, the first thing this guy wanted to do after getting the order sword was to cut off his emotions. Young Chen Mu only had this idea. Young life cannot bear the weight of emotions. Now Chen Tian is a young man, He has emotions. His father owed debts, and as a son, he has respect and filial piety for his father, so this emotion drives him. He knew that helping his father pay off the debts might cause him to be crushed, but he still did it without hesitation. Hundreds of thousands may not be a big deal for some capable people, but for Chen Tian, he is just an ordinary person at the bottom of society. This is a debt that can crush him and make him breathless. He also has a desire for love. He is now a young man who is eager to find his other half. The confidence to pursue others comes from appearance, power, and financial resources. He looks ordinary, not to mention power, and financial resources make Chen Tian even more breathless. So, he can like others, but he has no confidence to actively pursue others. Even if he takes the initiative, others will not like him. This leads to a vortex of contradictions. There is only depression and pain in the heart. Chen Tian can only roll in this vortex, suffering and tormenting. Finally, he longs to destroy it all. And this is why Chen Tian wants to cut off his emotions. The weight of this emotion is huge, which is difficult for ordinary people to bear, but they have to bear it. But Chen Tian now chooses not to bear it, and chooses to cut it off. But, for Chen Mu, this is undoubtedly a very stupid decision. Chen Mu created Chen Tian just to let him experience emotions. Because Chen Mu can no longer experience those emotions. Only life with emotions can feel these pains and enjoy these pains. Only with pain can one get happiness. Only when people can cry can they laugh. The simplest way to put it is that only when you are hungry can you feel the satisfaction and happiness of being full. If everything is cut off, then there is no meaning in living. Cutting off emotions can only mean that Chen Tian is still young. Chen Mu watched Chen Tian pierce the order sword into the dark consciousness library in his body, and at that moment, Chen Mu raised his hand. The emotions in Chen Tian's consciousness body were separated by Chen Mu. These emotions fell into the hands of the consciousness body Chen Mu and turned into something the size of a pearl. At the same time, Chen Mu saw Chen Tian's hair, and his pupils turned white at a speed visible to the naked eye. Chen Mu didn't remember that the order sword he created had this effect, and he guessed that Chen Tian had done something in the order sword. Is it because he looks more handsome this way? Now the reason why Chen Tian impulsively cut off these emotions, just cut them off, is that Chen Tian is still young now, and when he meets Benjao, he will naturally know whether emotions are useful or not. As for this emotion, Chen Mu muttered, leave it to Qinglong. Benjao is from Qinglong's side. It is most appropriate to leave it to Qinglong and let Qinglong handle it. Thinking about it, Chen Mu waved his hand, and the pearl-like emotional beads flew into the gate of time and space. Appear through the gate of time and space where Qinglong is. At the same time, Chen Mu sent a message to Qinglong directly through his dark consciousness. Qinglong, this is the emotion of a man named Chen Tian. In the future, Benjao of the Dragon Civilization will meet a man named Chen Tian. You are observing them secretly, waiting for the right time to return this thing to Chen Tian. Ah, okay, Master Ancestor Qinglong's vicissitudes of voice revealed a hint of surprise and respect. It is estimated that this old guy did not expect that Chen Mu would suddenly take on such a task with him. Chen Mu was too lazy to say anything more. He looked at Chen Tian in front of him. The reason why Chen Tian is like this is because of money. Mainly because of currency. Chen Mu recalled his previous experiences. Chen Mu discovered something. Yes, in the process of civilization development, it is difficult to avoid the emergence of currency. Only when civilization develops to a certain height, currency will disappear. But currency will last for a very long time after the development of civilization. Currency can be produced by a civilization through its own technology. Like the initial printing of banknotes. Then, if a person's lifespan is made tradable, will lifespan also become currency? Will those people appreciate the existence of currency more? Create a civilization where lifespan can be turned into a numerical value, and then establish an organization within that civilization that distributes lifespan. In this way, will there still be economic problems such as inflation? Chen Mu is interested. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wu Nian. Chapter 405. Since you want to do it, then do it. Chen Mu didn't hesitate much. He found a universe and a place in the universe. The thought came together. Matter condensed in 8 points. A star and 7 planets were formed in the blink of an eye. The star emitted light, illuminating the 7 planets orbiting nearby. The first 4 of these 7 planets are smaller, and the last 4 are larger. The reason for this arrangement is that the habitable zone of the star is located on the third one. The fifth is a giant planet, which can resist asteroids from outside the planetary system. After all, the planets in the habitable zone suffer too many meteorite disasters. The fourth planet between the third and fifth planets can just avoid the influence of the giant planets, and at the same time can intercept some small celestial bodies that are not intercepted by the giant planets. Countless small celestial bodies emerged from the periphery of this planetary system, as small as stones and as large as the moon. These celestial bodies are like eggshells, wrapping the entire planetary system. The reason why Chen Mu wanted to use these small celestial bodies to wrap the entire planetary system was to use these small celestial bodies to create a natural barrier to block the prying of outside civilizations. After all, Chen Mu didn't want the civilization he was about to create to be disturbed by outside civilizations, which would be a waste of time. Chen Mu looked at the newly created star. This star was just created, and the star activity is relatively active. With such active star activity, the nearby planets are not suitable for life growth. It doesn't matter. Chen Mu controlled the time dimension and changed the time of the star, directly allowing the star to skip the active time and enter the middle-aged period. In this way, the star will be obedient. The star activity will also decrease. The planetary system is in place. Chen Mu's sight fell on the interior of the third planet among the 7 planets. A thought fell. The planet has an atmosphere, and inside the atmosphere, there is air. After the air appeared, the planet that looked like a gray desert began to have sea water. The sea water filled all the concave places. When the sea water fills 70% of the planet's area, the rest is land. Vegetation soon appears on the land, grass, flowers, and trees appear little by little, gradually covering the remaining land. As time goes by, many fish appear in the sea. These fish are big and small, with different shapes and appearances. Various creatures also appear on the land. These creatures are created by Chen Mu using the genes of those creatures in the gene bank. These biological gene banks come from the genes of various creatures in the infinite universe. These creatures are completely different from the animals that Chen Mu has seen on the Earth before. Next, it's time to create humans. Chen Mu was thinking, if we want to turn human life into a tradable currency, how should we do it? Since it is a currency, it must be data, and then it must be visible and tradable. This is not difficult. Express the human life in the form of time data, and then fix it in a certain form for trading. Then the time data must be visible, so where should it be placed? On the forehead? This is obviously not possible. If it is placed on the forehead, it will be easily seen by others, and then there will definitely be robbery and massacre, and if it is placed on the forehead, the ancients did not have mirrors, so they could not see how much money they had, which is obviously unreasonable. Then put it on the arm. This is reasonable. If it is placed on the arm, you can see it yourself, and you can hide it by wearing long-sleeved clothes, or wrap it with a cloth strip. Thinking of this, Chen Mu started to work. On land, one after another people appeared out of thin air. More than 3 million people were born on this planet. These people have no wisdom. After they appeared, they were confused at first. but the creatures on this planet did not give them time to be confused. They were slaughtered by some large beasts. In addition to the slaughter, there was also hunger. Under the torture of the slaughter and hunger, these lives without intelligence, from more than 3 million, died half, leaving only more than 1 million. As time went by, driven by the external environment and physical instincts, these creatures gradually learned to escape, eat, and sleep. After seeing this, Chen-Mu was not interested in continuing to watch. He observed the future development of this group of guys through the time dimension and fragments of the time dimension. As Chen-Mu's hand slid across the timeline, one future time fragment after another passed in front of Chen-Mu's eyes. These humans, from the Paleolithic Age to the Neolithic Age, crossed the Agricultural Age, the Steam Age, the Electrical Age, and the Information Age. Finally, they came to the modern times where Chen-Mu once lived. But Chen-Mu found that this civilization had an extremely strange situation. In this new civilization, just as Chen-Mu thought, this civilization uses its own lifespan as currency. Whether buying or selling things, it is used based on the time displayed on the wrist. This civilization has developed to this point, and it has also realized that the time displayed on the wrist is their lifespan. How much time they have, how long they can live. They also know that Chen-Mu set it up to get time by shaking hands. Therefore, Chen-Mu saw a strange situation. Some people set up an organization. Then there are many men and women in this organization. These men and women will gather together. After that, women will give birth to children. After giving birth to children, the people in the organization will deprive the children of all their lifespans by shaking hands. Because the natural lifespan of children is definitely longer than that of adults. For these guys, the birth of each child means a big step of money coming in. A newly born child is a newly born gold mine. They dig children as gold mines. Some of the women who gave birth to children were voluntary, but some were forced. However, those women who gave birth to children would watch their children's lifespans being plundered by the people in the organization with a desperate look, and then watch the children's bodies being thrown aside at will. This situation, which should not happen in other civilizations, has appeared. Chen-Mu also noticed. Some people will organize people to rob. Their way of robbing is to cut off the target's hand directly, and then obtain the time on the other party's wrist by shaking hands. At present, these two situations appear in various places in this civilization. There is even an organized situation. Even within the highest organization of that civilization, time is gained by using the remaining children to deprive them of their lifespans. This is a wrong civilization. Chen-Mu left a sentence, and at this moment, all the humans in the entire civilization turned into sand. Without any screams or perception, all the humans in the entire civilization were deprived of their lives. Chen-Mu said, "It seems that there are still many loopholes that need to be filled." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 406. There are two loopholes found so far. The first is to put time on the arm. Time can indeed be displayed on the arm, but if the arm leaves the body, the time will disappear directly and cannot be seen. Those robbers will even cut off human arms in order to grab time. Before, the transaction method set by Chen-Mu was to shake hands with others through the hand with time, and then conduct transactions. After the robbers cut off the arm with time, they can grab other people's time by shaking hands. No. It must be changed and the display of time is placed in another place. The second is the child. Because the time a child has after birth can be traded, some people plunder the time of newborn babies, treat those humans as reproductive tools, and treat newborn babies as gold mines. The completely extinct humanity, even if this civilization develops, it is a deformed development. This is not what Chen Mu wants to see. How to solve it? Chen Mu is thinking. The first point. If the arm doesn't work, it will definitely not work if the time is placed in other parts of the body. What should I do? Chen Mu thought about it. Let's do this. Chen Mu's thoughts moved. In the void, bits of matter began to condense. As the matter condensed, a huge celestial device was finally formed. On a planet that had lost human civilization, a body slowly condensed and finally condensed into the appearance of Chen Mu. Chen Mu's subconsciousness entered his body. Chen Mu opened his eyes and said, "Turn on the time." As Chen Mu's voice fell, the celestial device in the distance began to operate. Then, a projection appeared in front of Chen Mu. This is a string of time. 10249220:59:53. 53 is the number of seconds, which is currently moving. The current lifespan of the body that Chen Mu molded. The million numbers are in hours, more than 1 million hours, which is more than 100 years. Because the body that Chen Mu molded is the body of an ordinary person, it naturally has a lifespan. Before, the time civilization on this planet was able to display time and trade time on the arm because it was driven by a giant celestial device. It was just placed on the arm at that time. Now Chen Mu re-entered the program and changed it to the current state. As long as the words open time are spoken or said in the heart, the blue screen will be turned on. As long as the other party is willing to trade, the celestial device can capture the signal and then trade. At the beginning, life naturally does not know how to use these settings, but as wisdom develops, they will surely know, become familiar with, and then use them. In this way, the first loophole disappears. So what about the second one? The second one is about the protection of newborn babies. No. Chen Mu crossed his arms and fell into thought. It is not only about the protection of the baby's time, but also the protection of the child's time. When the child is born, the parents are the only ones they can rely on. For the parents' words, those children will definitely do it. In other words, if the baby is protected, but when the baby grows up, before he can be independent, under the coercion of some bad parents, time will definitely be handed over. Some organizations can even take advantage of this and once again use the child's natural lifespan as a gold mine for harvesting. In this case, the result will be the same as the baby of the previous civilization. Find the problem, Chen Mu can find a solution. Chen Mu's solution is to let the celestial device control all humans on this planet. When humans are just born, prepare for 20 years of inability to trade. In this way, these 20 years can protect humans until independence, and because they cannot trade during this time, those people cannot use children as gold mines. There will be no second problem. But with the solution of these two problems, Chen Mu found another problem. Source. The biggest reason why the civilization created by Chen Mu before would treat children as gold mines, and even the highest organization of that civilization would treat children as gold mines, is that there is no new currency added. At present, all civilizations that Chen Mu knows are civilizations with a currency system. But there will be a situation. That is, every once in a while, that civilization will create some new currencies. Simply put, it is to create new money to balance market needs. What Chen Mu has to do now is to use time as currency. If a person gets a lot of time, he can get eternal life. In this way, it means that human beings have an endless demand for time. If this problem is not solved, then humans will inevitably slaughter each other. Or, I can create a source of currency. For a civilization that uses time as currency, there must be a source of time. Chen Mu thought about it for a while, and his eyes accidentally saw the animals running in the distance. Seeing those animals, Chen Mu's eyes lit up slightly. Okay, it's you. Chen Mu used a giant celestial device to give these wild animals time currency. The time these animals have is invisible. Only when other creatures kill them can they obtain the time owned by that creature. Humans will not discover this at the beginning, but they will definitely discover it later and use it at the same time. In this way, Shenmue once again created millions of new humans and opened the next era of civilization. Shenmue used the time dimension to jump through time. However, as time went by, Shenmue discovered a situation that made him a little unhappy. The humans of this new civilization raised those animals with time currency. Then kill them. In this way, unlimited time can be obtained. Then, more and more humans have unlimited lifespans. There are more and more people, and soon all the animals and plants on a planet are eaten up. In the end, the extremely hungry humans defined food as their own kind. This new civilization began a crazy slaughter of its own kind. This slaughter was extremely tragic, terrifying and bloody. Some people even raised humans as livestock. After seeing this, Shenmue was no longer happy. With the thought, all humans in that civilization disappeared. Shenmue pondered. If this is the case, after these humans discover this, they will start breeding these animals and gain unlimited time and lifespan, and the result is the demise of civilization. Shenmue thought for a while. In other words, it is better to find a balance. What to do? Shenmue found another solution. Give animals time currency, but at the same time, give these animals powerful power, and only untamed animals can obtain time currency. Humans can hunt these animals to obtain time currency, but they have to pay a price for it. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 407. In this way, the current problems are solved. Shenmue recreated 3 million humans, and then observed the development of these humans through the time dimension. After these humans who did not yet have intelligence were created, they were confused as before. Then, they were chased by groups of wild beasts. Because these beasts carrying time currency were strengthened by Shenmue, they became extremely ferocious and violent. Once they met humans, they became crazy. More than 3 million humans were chased and bitten by groups of crazy time beasts. Only about a week had passed. Those more than 3 million humans who had not yet developed intelligence all became food for time beasts. None of them survived. In this way, a civilization that had not yet begun to develop became extinct. The problems encountered before can indeed be solved, but the strength of the time beast is too high. Before humans have the corresponding wisdom, they have no way to fight against the time beast. Shenmue thought for a while. Or, I can let the time beasts grow, and let them be like ordinary beasts before, and slowly increase their strength over time. Shenmue thought about it. But if that's the case, the growth of time beasts and humans is hard to grasp. If the growth of time beasts far exceeds that of humans before humans grow up, then humans will be eaten directly by time beasts like just now. Human life is too fragile. They can't bear it just by increasing the strength of time beasts. In other words, another existence must be created to maintain the balance between time beasts and humans. Should we imitate the 7 civilizations and use the main gods to protect them? Shenmue doesn't want to do that. For the 7 civilizations, the main gods are supreme beings that cannot be surpassed. But now Shenmue just wants to create a civilization that uses time as currency, and then watch the civilization develop naturally. But if there is a main god, then there will inevitably be interference. This is not what Shenmue wants to see. That existence should be able to balance time beasts and humans so that the two can coexist. In this way, the time beast can become the source of time for humans. At the same time, the time beast will not directly crush humans, nor will humans be directly slaughtered by the time beast and hunt for time. At the same time, that existence must help in secret. How to do it? Simply put, it is to check and balance. Check and balance the time beast and humans. It is best to let humans check and balance themselves. But humans obviously can't do it. Since humans can't do it, let a third party do it. Let the third party help humans, improve their strength, and resist the attack of the time beast. Just like a hidden guardian. Chen Mu's mind flashed. Chen Mu has a way. Chen Mu's idea moved, and matter was condensing next to a star millions of light years away from this civilization. Soon, a planet appeared next to the star. There were 3 more planetary transformation rings around the planet. The planetary transformation rings slowly rotated, transforming the environment of the planet. Inside the planet, the ocean appeared, and the grassland and green trees grew. Afterwards, one after another humanoid life forms with golden hair and golden eyes appeared on this planet. Along with the humanoid life forms, there was also a thick book. Chen Mu called these new lives he created guardians. After each guardian was born, the giant celestial device would implant the dark consciousness into the guardian's head, allowing the guardian to directly obtain various high-tech knowledge. While obtaining knowledge, she also obtained a mission, which was to wait for the master and protect the master. In addition, a book would appear next to the guardian. In that book were various technological equipment and weapons of the universe. But these technological equipment and weapons can only be exchanged for time. The giant celestial device would collect the situation in the time planet. It would judge whether humans would be destroyed by the time beast based on the data, but when the celestial device judged that human civilization would be at risk of destruction, the celestial device would randomly select a person and a guardian from the time civilization and the guardian civilization to match and bind. From that time on, the guardian would be teleported to the person who was matched by the warp engine. The guardian can only be seen by the bound person, but not by others. Then, the guardian can help that person become stronger and grow until he can help humans resist the impact of the time beast. At the same time, the guardian can help the selected person to prevent him from going astray. Although this setting is a bit troublesome, but it can perfectly determine all the problems Chen Mu is currently facing. After finishing these, Chen Mu began to test again. More than 3 million people were created by Chen Mu and thrown into the time planet. When these more than 3 million were born, they were attacked by the time beast again, just like before. At this time, the celestial device was running. A human and a guardian were selected for matching and binding. At the same time, the guardian was teleported to the side of that human. With the help of the guardian, that human gradually gained intelligence, and then began to lead other humans to counterattack. Humans repelled the time beast, built defensive buildings, and began to develop slowly. Seeing this, Chen Mu nodded with satisfaction. He entered the timeline. By jumping the time dimension, he continued to observe the new civilization he had created. Although the selected human was protected by the guardian, he was not invincible. Some humans were selected, but they did not get enough time to exchange for more powerful high-tech weapons, and were killed by the time beast accidentally. When one died, the guardian civilization would have another guardian to match with another human. Another guardian entered the time planet to guide another selected human. It kept repeating like this. Some died when fighting against the time beast, and some had more powerful high-tech weapons when they gained a lot. He would choose to leave the time planet and explore the outside world. But if he left the time planet, it would be equivalent to not protecting the time civilization. When that guy left, the giant celestial device would be matched again. In the long years, countless selected humans appeared, and then disappeared for various reasons. Disappear and appear, appear and disappear, countless times in a cycle. But it is certain that whenever humans encounter a situation where they may perish, someone will always stand up. Other humans do not know the existence of guardians, but they know that there will always be some people who are extremely brave, extremely powerful, and extremely special. And those people are called heroes by other humans. Civilization is developing, and humans are becoming more and more powerful. But the time beasts are also becoming more and more powerful and irritable. During these times, humans and time beasts have been fighting one war after another. After many eras, humans finally chose to build a super huge wall, enclosing all humans in the wall and blocking the attack of time beasts. In this way, humans finally avoid being hunted by time beasts all the time. But the time currency that time beasts bring is a necessary energy source. Therefore, humans choose to send some people out to hunt time beasts and collect time every once in a while. After the order of time civilization and the wall were established, humans ushered in a time of stable development. Because the wall was established, the celestial device judged that humans would not perish, so it no longer matched humans and guardians. But Shenmue knew that the situation would not last too long. Because time beasts have growth potential, they will continue to become stronger and grow. But at some point, the walls that humans rely on for survival will also be unable to withstand it. However, Shenmue didn't care. After all, if the giant celestial device calculated the situation, it would continue to match. Just like the previous experience of the civilization, there will always be someone who stands up. There will always be a brave man who stands up. Seeing this civilization develop steadily, Shenmue was satisfied. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Shenmue Nian. Chapter 408. Although Shenmue was very satisfied with the creation of this time currency civilization. However, Shenmue was still dissatisfied. Shenmue had always had a feeling. Something was wrong. Very wrong. At this moment, Shenmue had swallowed countless universes and became an infinite universe. His dark consciousness merged all the dark consciousnesses in countless universes. In the dark consciousness, there is a word called wisdom. Shenmue merged so many dark consciousnesses. Logically speaking, the wisdom he possessed had already reached a very terrifying level. However, Shenmue always felt awkward, as if his thoughts and thinking were restricted by an unknown existence. For a long time, Shenmue could feel the invisible restraint, the restraint that could not be explained. This time, when Shenmue created this time currency civilization, he felt the restraint even more. According to common sense, Shenmue is now almost omniscient and omnipotent, and he should be able to solve any problem. But when creating this time civilization, he encountered many problems, and he needed to think about these problems before he could solve them. Even when solving one problem, another problem will arise. Although the problems were solved later, those problems should not have arisen. When Shenmue wanted to create that time civilization, he, who is omniscient and omnipotent, should have taken all these problems into consideration. But he didn't. It was as if there was an unknown existence that bound him and prevented him from breaking through a certain wisdom. Why? Why is this so? This is a question. It is a question that makes Shenmue feel contradictory. He, who is omniscient and omnipotent, wants to create a time civilization, a civilization without any problems. He should be able to create it with just one thought. But in fact, it is not. This is a very contradictory question. It's like a glass of water is placed in front of you. There is nothing wrong with your body, but when you stretch out your hand, you find that you can't touch it. There is no reason that can prevent you from touching it, but you just can't touch it. Since you can't touch it, there must be an unknown reason, a reason you have never noticed. Shenmue looked at the vast universe in front of him. Under what circumstances will this happen? Unless it is fake. Unless I am fake, I don't have the infinite universe, nor do I have all the dark consciousness and all the wisdom of the infinite universe. No, I can't be fake. Shenmue can be extremely sure that he really exists. He has all the dark consciousness of the infinite universe, he is the infinite universe, he is an immortal existence. An immortal existence that spans all dimensions. If I am real, then why can't I do what I should do? Shenmue was thinking. I am real, I am omniscient and omnipotent, I should be able to do anything, and solve problems before they arise. But I can't do it. The wisdom I have is limited by something unknown. When creating the time civilization, the wisdom of my head was limited to the wisdom of ordinary people, which is not my wisdom. In addition, my dark consciousness has integrated countless creatures and countless life dark information. In this infinite universe, there are countless highly intelligent life forms. After integrating so many highly intelligent life forms, I should not have always been biased towards humans, but the various civilizations I created are all based on humans. It's like there's a human living inside my body. And that human is an ordinary person. When I was creating the time civilization, the unknown ordinary human consciousness controlled me and asked me to create a time civilization. Chen Mu, in human form, stood in space. He raised his hand and looked at his hand. He raised his face and looked up. Suddenly, a flash of inspiration flashed through Chen Mu's mind. There is a being stronger than me, but he is an ordinary person. He controls and uses my body to create these civilizations. An existence stronger than me, stronger than the infinite universe and infinite consciousness, but it is biased towards humans and has only ordinary people's consciousness. He restricts my thinking and my thinking. Chen Mu said, if you really exist, you must be staring at me now, come out. However, there was no movement. Chen Mu was almost certain that there was such an existence, but if I didn't come out, he couldn't do anything. Chen Mu looked at the vast universe in front of him. The universe is extremely vast. But Chen Mu has seen the true appearance of this universe. This universe is nothing but a quantum in a flower in another universe. But in this quantum universe, there are other substances, and those substances continue to get smaller, and there is another quantum, and there is a universe in the quantum. This cycle repeats infinitely. This is the truth of this universe. But, is it? Is what we see with our eyes really real? Who determines the existence of space? Who determines the existence of time? Who determines the existence of matter? Who determines the existence of dimensions? How did these existences come into being? Why were they born? Why do they exist? If zero dimension is nothing, then what is nothing? I don't know. There are too many questions and too few answers. But, at this moment, Chen Mu discovered a fact that he had overlooked, that is, he should have been omniscient and omnipotent, but he failed to be omniscient and omnipotent, as if sometimes his own thinking was bound by unknown things. There is an existence staring at him, and there is an existence manipulating him. That existence is likely to be a human, and an ordinary person. But, a human, an ordinary human, how can he control me? I don't understand. Chen Mu said, you don't have to hide, I know you exist. I have questions to ask you, and I hope you can answer me. If you can't reach this universe in person, then you can use the method of dark consciousness communication to answer my questions through dark consciousness communication. Having said this, Chen Mu paused, and he continued, tell me, who are you? However, there was no response. Chen Mu did not wait for a response. Chen Mu raised his hand. A book appeared in Chen Mu's hand. There was nothing in the book. Chen Mu said calmly, if you are willing to talk anytime, write down what you want to say in this book. Chen Mu flew to a desolate planet and raised his hand. A device appeared on the surface of the planet, and a transparent spherical device appeared in front of Chen Mu. The book in Chen Mu's hand entered the spherical device. Chen Mu looked at the book, and his body disappeared on the spot. The question could not be answered, but life continued. Chen Mu planned to do something else. However, at this moment, two words slowly emerged on the page of the book that had nothing on it. First. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wu Nian. Chapter 409. The two words that appeared on the book attracted Chen Mu's attention as soon as they appeared. Chen Mu's dark consciousness permeated countless universes. As long as there was a dark consciousness, it was equivalent to Chen Mu's vision. That book was used by Chen Mu to communicate with those unknown beings. When the two words appeared in the book, Chen Mu sensed it at the first time. First, what do these two words mean? Why did that unknown existence show him these two words? Chen Mu didn't know. But, the appearance of these two words proved one thing. That is, there is indeed an existence that he cannot observe, and that existence is paying attention to him. Before, Chen Mu was guessing, and now the appearance of these two words is evidence. Seeing this evidence, Chen Mu realized it. Although he is already an infinite universe, he is an infinite universe, but as an infinite universe, he will be affected by other existences. And the one who affects his existence is still an ordinary person. There is no reason. Suddenly, Chen Mu noticed that the two words on the book were slowly disappearing. First is slowly disappearing. Soon, the two words disappeared without a trace. The reason why words can be seen is that they are material, and because of light, the material shows color, and the color is given meaning according to the different structures to form words. The disappearance of these two words means the disappearance of matter. The disappearance of matter means that there is something affecting the material that constitutes these two words. In other words, someone sent a signal similar to dark information to this material, which can be done. Chen Mu used his dark information to search and capture. But Chen Mu searched through dark information, but couldn't find it. The two words seemed to disappear out of thin air, without any signal affecting them. This thing is out of Chen Mu's cognition. At this moment, Chen Mu saw that the characters appeared on the page of the book again. The next plot will not be a dialogue between the author and the protagonist. I am looking forward to it, carrot oh carrot. Seeing this, the sudden appearance of words and an emoticon made Chen Mu confused. This is. Chen Mu frowned. Plot, author, protagonist. Chen Mu was once an earthling. He was no different from other ordinary people. He would entertain himself when he had nothing to do. Read novels, watch anime, and watch TV. This time, Chen Mu understood the words in front of him. This is a comment on the novel. Could it be that the world I live in is in a novel? Could it be that I am just a character in the novel? Thinking of this, Chen Mu thought of the contradiction he had always felt. Everything is connected. I am a character in a novel. Although I have become an infinite universe and an immortal existence in the novel. But because I was created by the author, sometimes what I do is what the author wants me to do. The author is naturally an ordinary person. He controls my body to create civilization, and there will definitely be various problems. This has led to the fact that I, who was originally full-time and omnipotent, have become unable to be omniscient and omnipotent, and have become like an ordinary person. But, how is it possible? Chen Mu's various consciousnesses were mixed together, and he couldn't believe it. He has lived through a long time, witnessed the changes of the universe, and seen the truth of the universe. And all this is just a dimensional world created by an ordinary person. Chen Mu said, no wonder. No wonder I always feel that there are so many unreasonable things in this world and in me. So that's the case. I just live in a dimensional world of a novel. All the universes, countless cyclic quantum universes, are just imagined by an ordinary author. Really interesting, really interesting. After being shocked, Chen Mu accepted this speculation. Because only this speculation can explain all the unreasonable things he has encountered. After all, ordinary people are not omniscient and omnipotent, and ordinary people make mistakes. The universe created by ordinary people is naturally imperfect. If this is a novel, there must be readers. The previous first is probably the information left by a reader. Chen Mu nodded slightly. He looked at the vast starry sky in front of him and said, "You are probably looking at me now and think it's very interesting, right? Have you ever thought that maybe the universe you live in, the world you live in, is a world created by other people's novels? The world we live in is an uncertain world, full of various unknowns. Some people say that the Earth may just be an alien laboratory. The Earth may be in a box, and what we see through various instruments, the various galaxies and skies we observe, are just what aliens want us to see. Or, everything we see now, our lives, is just a world written by an unknown existence. But, even if it is true, what does it matter? Life goes on. Anything, as long as it exists, has its meaning of existence. Since life exists, it has its meaning of existence. Perhaps, we feel that we have not found the meaning of our existence, but in fact we have always been the meaning itself, but we have never discovered it. Chen Mu looked at the characters on the book, and his figure disappeared on the spot. Chen Mu's thoughts at this moment are the same: existence has meaning. No matter what kind of world Chen Mu is in, who created the world, it doesn't matter. What's important is that Chen Mu is now the master of this world, invincible in this world, immortal. And his life is still going on. Chen Mu fell into thinking. Next, what kind of civilization and what kind of world should be created? Why not try to completely digitize a civilization? Let everything be digitized, just like the game you have played before. Create a civilization in the form of an online game. Life is digitized in the form of blood volume. Thinking of this, Chen Mu thought about it and said, "It's not difficult. It's not difficult to create such a civilization." Chen Mu's thoughts moved. A star and 7 planets were created out of thin air. Outside this planetary system, a planetary-level celestial device appeared. Chen Mu created a civilization just like he created other civilizations. But it was different from other civilizations. Everything in this civilization was digitized. Using celestial devices, everything in the civilization was controlled. Everything in the civilization was digitized in the mode of online games. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 410. It is not difficult to digitize a planet or a civilization. Just create a celestial device with enough computing power to cover a planetary civilization, and let this device digitize everything inside the planet. Chen Mu created such a planet and such a celestial device. Then he separated part of his consciousness, molded a human figure in the planet, and the consciousness entered the body. Chen Mu opened his eyes and looked at the world in front of him. Chen Mu's sight fell on a stone that was 1.5 meters high next to him. When Chen Mu's sight fell on the stone, a line of text appeared above the stone. Name, stone. Health value, 5739/5739. Defense, 379. Weight, 2 meters. This is the data that Chen Mu can see with his naked eyes, floating on the stone. In fact, these data are not owned by this body, but by a celestial device outside the planet. The various data of the stone are calculated, and then the data are edited into a picture, and then the picture is synchronized to the eyeball of the body through optical principles. In this way, Chen Mu can see the data on the stone. Not just the stone. As long as Chen Mu looks at any object on this planet, he can see the name of that object and various data. As for the health and defense values on the stone, these two data are two new data obtained by the celestial device based on the volume, density, weight, and other data of the object. This data should not exist in the real world. The reason why this data exists is because Chen Mu wants it to exist. Chen Mu stretched out his hand, and a wooden sword appeared in his hand. Chen Mu looked at the wooden sword. Name, wooden sword. Attack power, 1. Chen Mu took the wooden sword and chopped the stone. After chopping, a value appeared at the collision point. -0. This is the calculation given by the celestial device. The wooden sword is just wood, the density is too low, so the attack power is naturally low. The density of the stone is too high, so the defense is high. No matter how many times the wooden sword chops the stone, the result is that it will not cause damage. Chen Mu connected the celestial device and asked it to modify the attack power value of the wooden sword. The attack power value of the wooden sword changed from 1 to 10,000. Name, wooden sword. Attack power, 10,000. Chen Mu looked at the stone beside him and waved the wooden sword in his hand. The stone was like tofu and was easily cut by the wooden sword. Split into two. In fact, the wooden sword could not cut the stone in front of him. The reason why it can be cut now is because the celestial device calculates. According to the attack power of the wooden sword in Chen Mu's hand and the life value and defense of the stone, the celestial device believes that the wooden sword is a high-density sharp material and can cut the stone. Therefore, the celestial device controls all the atomic composition in the stone and separates it. What you see with the naked eye is the situation of the wooden sword cutting the stone. Simply put, in this planet, everything, from a planet to a quark, is controlled by the celestial device. The celestial device is like the CPC of a computer, and this planet is like a pile of data that needs to be processed. This is a new civilization created by Chen Mu. A data civilization. Chen Mu looked at the wooden sword in his hand, and then threw it away casually. The wooden sword flew out, and with a sound of puff, the wooden sword directly pierced into the ground, and half of the wooden sword was immersed in the ground. Chen Mu did not think too much about creating the civilization. What he wanted now was just to create some fun and interesting civilizations to kill time. It was just like Chen Mu's toy. It feels so boring. Is there anything more fun? Chen Mu thought about it and looked at the stone on the ground. Chen Mu squatted down and picked up the stone. Looking at the stone in his hand, he looked at the big stone next to him that he had cut in half. Although the big stone had been cut in half, it became two pieces, and each piece was as heavy as a meter. It's so heavy that people can't lift it by their own strength. Wouldn't that be too boring? Small stones can be moved, but big stones can't. Chen Mu thought for a while. Can we build a civilization in which any heavy object can become light? This question is not a big problem. If it's too heavy to move, then make the weight lighter. If it's too big to use force, then change the size of the target. Chen Mu had an idea. He walked to the big stone that was half a person's height and a foot thick, and put his hand on it. Cardization. Accompanied by Chen Mu's voice. The big stone lighted up slightly, and the big stone turned into a white light, and then slowly condensed in Chen Mu's hand, turning into a card. Name, card. Weight, 1g. Chen Mu said, remove cardization. After speaking, Chen Mu threw the card into the air. A white light flashed. The card turned back into the big rock and fell from the sky. Because of the acceleration of gravity, the big rock fell quickly. Boom. Accompanied by a loud noise, dust flew up. In this way, no matter how heavy the object is, it can be moved. This is a function that Chen Mu just added to the celestial device. The principle is that when someone puts his hand on an object and says the command cardization, the celestial device will temporarily throw the target into the 5-dimensional space and suspend the target's time. At the same time, a card will be made of matter and placed in the person's hand. When the person says uncardization, the card will disappear within 3 seconds. Then the target in the 5-dimensional space will be teleported back. And all this, to the naked eye, is that the stone turns into a card, and then the card turns into a stone. People will mistakenly think that the stone turns directly into a card. Of course, this is also the result that Chen Mu wants. In this way, a digital world, a world that can cardize objects is done. Chen Mu crossed his arms. Next, let's see how the humans thrown into this world will develop this data civilization. Chen Mu's thoughts moved. In this planet full of birds and flowers, more than 3 million humans appeared out of thin air. This planet, like other civilizations created by Chen Mu, has wild beasts. Humans were confused at first, but after being hunted by wild beasts for food for a while, they slowly began to develop. Chen Mu observed the changes in this world's civilization through the time dimension. He wanted to see how these humans would develop this data civilization. Warm TI.